Thank you for rocking with me. It's the Street Wolf, J Legend. Make sure you go check out AJDunk.com. Follow me on all social media at JLEGEND100. This is the third release of the third clip that we are releasing now of our live show that we did on March 11th, 2017. Check in the description box. The link will be there for the first part. We just broke it up. It was all one show, but it was, if you were there or anything, you know, it was one long show. Everybody had a great time. We had a music performance by Souls to the Third Siders, which you can watch that on and Ice to the Third Siders. You can check that out on the first clip that we released. And yeah, just check everything out, man. It's dope stuff. All right, thank you for rocking with us.
I got a better story for y'all.
Let's see
So
how
I
it
told
goes.
y'all when I told y'all about me hustling urine, and I said I was gonna give y'all a urine story, minus the R. Kelly. So I was hustling urine, right? I had nickels, I had dimes, I had 20s. So one time a female came up to me while I was hustling though, and she said she wanted it, but like she was kind of fidgety and being weird and stuff. So I'm thinking, this chick might go back and tell one of the PO officers what I'm doing. So I didn't want to fuck with her. Long story short, a few days of her being persistent, finally I spoke to a few people. They told me she good money. I said, cool. Yo, cause you know how I go. You can't be selling other people you don't know. You know how I go. They be undercovers out here, man. You never know, man. Don't they got like a unit for urine?
Why are you asking me?
I thought they do though. Come on,
I know
man.
stuff, but
How
I
many
don't know
fellas in the house? One of the felons in the house got to tell me they
Why would you ask somebody to just admit they're a felon? Come on,
I do it
man.
all the time. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. For not letting me feel lonely out here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I finally give in and I decided to do urine business with this chick. And someone tells me, hey, you know, they saw me talking to her. And I said, nickels, dimes, it all depends what you need, baby. You know what I'm saying? What day you need it. You know what I mean? So anyway, so someone tells me, hey, I don't know if you want to really do anything with that chick because there's something funny style about how I know her and she ain't telling you the whole truth. So, you know, I'm not one to get in people's personal business. I don't give a fuck. But after I hear a warning like that, I'm like, all right. So, you know, when we finally meet up and everything, we talking. So I'm like, listen, you know, you always fidgety and somebody tell me I need to talk to you. So tell me what's the deal. What's your situation? Why you really need this urine? And she came out and confessed she needed the urine because she lied to her significant other. She wanted to bring him a urine test, a pregnancy test that said she wasn't pregnant.
Yo, you Go ahead. Where does this story end?
Because she wanted to get back at him for cheating. So she was pregnant from him. She didn't want him to know she was pregnant, and her plan was to later on spray that shit on him.
So what'd you do?
Charge them all.
Yeah, you an asshole for that. You are.
Nah, I didn't give it to her. I didn't give it to her. You know, the criminal in me wouldn't let me do that to another criminal. So I just said, all right, listen, I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially some people already knew that I was selling urine. I didn't want nobody tipping homeboy off later. And now I got a felony on my hands. So, bottom line, what ended up happening from there though, later on, was the point of she was one of the reasons why I stopped selling urine. And then she started telling everybody I knew they was gonna blow up my urine ring. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need the feds coming down on that, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need that. So that's what happened. So fellas, I'm gonna tell you right now, be right there in the bathroom, put your hand on her thigh, spread it, put your finger, make sure that urine is warm before that test is being made, all right? You're going to thank me later.
The urine man. The urine man. All right, what's the advice? So we're going to give you all some advice.
Yeah, no.
Now people got questions.
So what happened was sometimes, again, we have two separate shows, but we often do them together. And what happened is people oftentimes we get text messages and emails from different people, different comments, stuff like that. So someone started telling me, hey, you know, being that you guys come from 2 different backgrounds, maybe it might be good for you guys to give people advice about stuff. So I said, all right, you know, if you know somebody who needs advice, you'll do it. But I have to warn you in advance. I will fuck your life up.
And I will save it.
Yeah, Captain Save him over here. So, sure enough, we got a few messages.
So
I'll throw one that's off the top of the head, and we'll let you give the advice. So, one particular person who sent me an email said that they are 42 years old, between 40 and 42, I can't remember, and they wanted advice because they think there's something, they don't think there's something wrong with them, but their life partner, I believe it was 40 or 42, and if they never had sex again a day in their life, they'd be okay. So they wanted to know, if they never had sex again a day in their life, how could they maintain a relationship?
Are you? He said Brazzers. For the ones that don't know, that's a site. There's clips. It doesn't matter. It was just said.
No, I just want to know, like, what's the selection there?
But I thought you were giving advice. You gave me a
you're
question.
giving advice. Yeah, but I just want to know what's your search, options. What? Are you looking for MILF? Are you looking for Latinas? What are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? There you go. That's my man right there. We need variety. You know what I'm saying?
So you said you were giving advice.
No.
And you asked me.
No, I'm telling you, you're going to give the advice.
No.
I said that. That's
okay, so if you're with all right, here's the advice. In that situation, if you've been dealing with somebody for a while, and then all of a sudden they spring this on you, then talk about it. Like, you can't, if your life is already set.
You said talk about it?
Yeah, why not? If they said, oh, I don't want to have sex anymore, then you need to talk about that situation. So
how about you assume they already did that?
How about you let me finish? Because you asked me, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
So, I'm saying.
Get your advice from me for a low price.
Go ahead.
You got advice for him.
Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
Finish. I'm going to give the next advice. So
all right, go ahead. Go ahead, Jen. You got this. You got it. All right, then. So, what I'm saying is, if somebody springs that on you out of nowhere, you need to speak to them to see where their mind is and why they're all of a sudden making this decision. What it is that they're going through. That's so you can help them get through that. Because just because it's sex, it could be something completely different. It could be like, you know what, I'm not cooking anymore. You know what, I'm not getting the mail anymore. I'm not doing laundry anymore. There's a lot of different things that all of a sudden they could spring on you, but you need to talk about it. So in the end of the day, if there's an issue, talk about it so you can come to a conclusion.
That relationship is over. That shit is over. That's it, man. It's over. And you made it worse.
That's you. And that's how you feel. So that's why you said from the beginning, the advice is coming from 2 different levels. You're one to ruin relationships, and I'm one
in that aspect, I wouldn't ruin it. I just be like, listen, if you're a 40-year-old female, and you feel that 40, you're fine with never having sex again, your pussy needs CPR. Your pussy is dead. It's dead. There you go. That's it. Or because I don't see a situation where you can be with somebody for the rest of their life and sex. You can't have no sex. I don't see how that works. You can have communication with somebody and all that, but to not have any sex?
But okay,
not a hand job, not nothing.
If they throw that out there and you just say, "Oh no, it's over," then then that's your fucking fault. If you're not
we're talking about the rest of your life, though.
But it doesn't matter. Somebody can say anything they want to, but if you don't have a conversation about it, then that's your fault.
Right, it was after the conversation.
That's when clearly they had to have some sort of conversation. But that's all right. Let's move on to the next one. Get your listen, anybody here, get your advice from me. I got you. All right.
And then when shit ain't going right and you don't get the piss you need, come talk to me.
So the second email I got that was worth mentioning was a female saying she wanted my advice on. She actually said she wanted both our advice, but I just felt mine was gonna be better. She said she don't know how she can go about. She said her and her man have a semi-normal sex life and home life. But her issue is a man doesn't go down on her like that. She said he might go down, take a taste test, and then that's the end. So she said she don't want to cheat on him, but she don't know how to get him to do it. So I'm gonna let you start, and then I'm gonna...
So once again,
Do you understand the question though?
yeah, motherfucker, I'm grown.
Okay.
Shit. Have a conversation about that shit. if she's not getting, hold up, hear me out. Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna send her to you then. Fuck it, hey, we good. But all right, so once again, it's deeper than that. You need to have a conversation so you can come to a conclusion. Like, just because somebody says something, that doesn't necessarily mean what it is. Like, I can say I have an addiction, and you're like, oh shit, oh man. But once I tell you that my addiction is to succeed, then you look at me differently. So once we have a conversation, then it's a lot deeper than what I just initially said. Because if I can say something right now, and you can take it a certain way, but once I explain it to you, then you'll look at it completely different. Because I can say earlier today, I was out playing with some bitches, but you'll think that I was with some girls, but I can say I was at the store playing with female dogs. So that's what I'm trying to say. Let's have a conversation before
You would do that though. You would be playing with female dogs.
I like puppies.
I'll be somewhere playing with bitches. You be playing with female dogs.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Consider a conversation. You done?
Yeah, I'm done. That's it.
So, alright, so now for some real advice. So, she said she couldn't get her man to do more than a taste test, right? Obviously, he got a problem with the taste. So there gotta be two problems and then quick fixes. Number one, she probably often has a front wedgie and there's lint in there. So, all you gotta do is either douche and squirt that out, you know what I'm saying? Or go manual. You know what I mean? Get some tweezers, go in there, get whatever lint and tissue is still in there, and get that out, and it'll change things. That's part one. The other part is, if he licks it once or twice, that means he's willing to do it, but it's something about the taste that ain't working for him. So I would give her advice if she's watching or listening when we put this out, and I would simply just tell her, 5 minutes before you go to bed, eat Now and Later's, Sour Powers, Sour Patch Kids. We need flavor in there. Or eat some pateles or something like that got a little bit of sofrito in there. We need the flavor and the juices to come out. Once there's flavor to the cooch, he's gonna eat it. Trust me on it.
I heard pineapples out there. But on a more serious note, to give...
You want to talk.
Isn't that the purpose of a podcast?
Babe, sit down for a second, babe.
I know, I'm not talking about that conversation.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that my tongue doesn't really touch.
No, I'm over this topic, is
Let's
what
talk
I'm saying,
about the
Jay.
fact that your clit sometimes it lands on the tip of my nose, and I don't want it there, so I can't continue to eat it.
He's speaking from past
Let's talk
experience.
about this is you right here. This is you right here.
No.
Let's have a conversation at the fact that I want to eat it, but you always queef. So since you queef, I can't eat it. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody want to talk about that shit.
I'm not talking about this shit anymore. I'm talking about on a real note, like, because we wrapping it up. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting. I appreciate it greatly. I honestly do.
Thanks for having us.
And what I want to say is that my whole purpose is to break stereotypes. I could not imagine, I know majority of the people personally, each person personally, and the backgrounds that we come from, I couldn't imagine that in this one room. So I appreciate that greatly, where we can have a good time and there not be any problems. And also, I wanted to say that things are deeper than skin. Talk to the person. Everybody got their own story. You can find a way to connect with anybody on a positive way. So don't just look at them and make an assumption. Talk to them. Find out something. Have a conversation. I preach this all the time, and it's not going to change. Talk to them. Fuck that. I don't know you, bro. I'm going to talk to you when we done this shit, though, all right? But it's just like, that's my mission. That's the advice that I give you. Be aware of situations, but also talk to people and don't jump to a conclusion. Because if I would have jumped to a conclusion, I wouldn't be sitting next to this thing right here. So that's my advice that I give to y'all.
I ain't got no advice to give none of y'all. Email me and I'll tell you what's up. What's up, my brother?
I got a suggestion for an episode. Y'all should switch roles. You wear the fatigue suede blazer.
It's not
She do that. Yeah, she do that.
The baggy jeans.
Halloween. That's a good Halloween one.
There we go.
Y'all beat each other.
Oh, that would not be hard. I just gotta not sleep and just be angry. Oh, so like, listen, right? Oh, you just fucking up on this shit. And that's it. That's all I gotta do with DJ. So he has to do more training than I do.
Not true.
All right.
Yeah, man. Listen, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I definitely appreciate it. Even more so, I was really, really happy to be able to put something together with AJ where it just was me and AJ. We didn't have to really work with other people like we've done before and do the extra. It was just me and him getting it done, and I'm happy that we did it. And even more so, I'm happy that my father was able to come from a whole other state and see my brother perform. That was real major for me. You know what I'm saying? So overall, thank everybody, man. I need y'all to listen to both our podcasts. Check out AJDunk.com. Check me out on YouTube, iTunes, and everything. JLEGEND Effect. And thank y'all very much.
The last thing that I ask for y'all, before you leave, introduce yourself to somebody that you haven't met here, just so you can just make a connection and just see. I know everybody here, so if there's a problem, just come talk to me, but there ain't gonna be no problem, so we're good. All right, everybody? Exactly.
Yeah, keep doing your thing.
One last thing, though, like the advice I just gave for the young lady who sent me that email, I just want everybody here to know, if you out here lengthy in the private areas, make sure you hit the 99-cent store tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, and take care. Right? So I don't get no more emails like that.
All right. Give them the 3 things.
Oh, yeah. As we always say at the end of I always say at the end of every podcast, and I mean this, and I need y'all always to think about this. So when I say the wolf pack, I'm a street wolf. My wolf pack is in the building. The 3 things you got to do for the wolf pack, being your closest circle, your family members, is always provide, protect, and educate.
I'm AJ Dunk, all caps. That's J Legend. Just like to let y'all know, laughter's always in style. And don't forget it, let them know, Mom.